These allegations are recycled, number one, where on the whim or caprice of any senator, just like what happened to Gordon, you can be held in contempt and imprisoned. The game plan of Luis Hontiveros. Eh, taka ka na lang pagka hindi mo nakita yan.
Magandang araw sa atin lahat mga kabayan. Ayon kay Atty.Topacio, legal counsel ni Pastor Apollo Quiboloy, tinawag niya na recycle itong mga aligasyon ni Senator Hontiveros at ang planong magkaroon nga ng pagdinig dito sa pamunuan ng Senado ang umano'y magkaroon ng Senate inquiry para sa mga aligasyon na umano'y nagkaroon ng mga abuses dito sa ilang miyembro ng simbahan umano ni Pastor Apollo Quiboloy at hindi nga pabor itong si Atty.Topacio dahil alam niya na magiging bias lang umano ang mangyaring investigation at hindi binibigyan ng pagkakataon na sumagot man, magpapaliwanag ang ilang resource person at depende na lang umano sa senador kung sino ang kanilang papasalitain. Kaya nga ayon kay Atty.Topacio, dapat ito ay dadalhin sa korte o sa tamang forum, hindi sa Senado.
These allegations are recycled, number one. These are already the subject of a criminal proceeding in California, in the United States. Number two, when it comes to producing credible witnesses, Senator Hontiveros has a very poor record. In 2017, and I personally know this because I was involved, she was accused by the father of one of the witnesses in the Kian de los Santos case of practically abducting his child and asked the VACC, the Volunteers Against Crime and Corruption, to retrieve the child. In 2021, she was charged by my clients of trying to suborn perjury with respect to witnesses in the Farman case. And she is now an accused in a wiretapping charge in the Pasay City Courts. So, Luis Hontiveros has a record of using false witnesses in order to further her political agenda.
But as you said, Atty.Topacio, as you said, if it is true that these witnesses or these testimonies are recycled, they exist to begin with before they were even recycled.
Yes, they exist and there are proceedings. And I think Ms. Hontiveros misses the point entirely because there are already ongoing proceedings. There were criminal cases filed here in the Philippines against Pastor Quiboloy and they were dismissed. I think what Hontiveros fails to perceive all throughout the time that she's senator is that the Senate is not an investigative agency. It is not the court. It is not the police. It is not the NBI. It exists to make legislation.
Yeah, and
So mga kababayan po natin, mukhang tinamaan nga itong si Senator Hontiveros at inisa-isa ni Atty.Topacio itong mga kapalpakan ni Senator Hontiveros, lalong-lalo na sa kanyang mga resource person na dinadala umano sa Senado. Ngayon mga kababayan po natin, kinukumpara kasi ni Hontiveros at ang itong kay Pastor Apollo Quiboloy at itong kay Senior Aguila. So kung tutuusin mga kababayan po natin, napakalayo. Kasi unang-una ito kay Pastor Apollo Quiboloy ay isang organized na church ito mga kababayan po natin, international ito. Samantala ang kulto na nasa umano'y Surigao del Norte ay bago lang yon at mukhang sila-sila lang ang komunidad lamang ang kanyang mga ilang miyembro at sila ay kinukunan ng pera. Dito kay Pastor Apollo Quiboloy umano mga kababayan po natin ay talagang organized na at pati ibang bansa ay marami siyang miyembro na nagtutulungan at hindi lang sila ordinaryong simbahan kundi may mga foundation din sila na tumutulong sa mga kababayan po nating may hirap. Kaya para kay Atty.Topacio ay hindi patas ang mga aligasyon ni Senator Hontiveros. At ngayon mga kababayan po natin, nakikita rin umano ni Atty.Topacio itong pattern na nangyayari ngayon dahil una nang pinatawag sa House of Representatives itong si Ka-Eric at si Dr. Loren dahil sa kanyang allegation na 1.8 billion na travel fund umano ni House Speaker Martin Romualdez. At sa konting pagkakamali yun, which is hindi naman talaga allegation kundi isang tanong, ay inimbestigahan na ngayon ang Isiminayos at gusto nang ipasuspindi o tanggalan ng prangkisa. Dahil nga ba mga kababayan po natin itong Isiminay ay isang platform sa national television at sa social media na kung saan nakakapagsalita itong si dating Pangulong Digong laban sa House of Representatives o yung mga negatibong nakikita niya sa administrasyon ngayon ni Pangulong Marcos at lalong-lalo na dito niya binabakbakan itong makabayan na kung saan sila nga ang sumisira o mano sa ating gobyerno at ang kanilang alyansa ay mga kaliwa na siya naman ang mga kaalyado ni Senator Risa Hontiveros. Dahil hindi epektibo mga kababayan po natin o mukhang bulilyaso ang kanilang plano sa House of Representatives dahil maraming kababayan po natin na nagalit ay ito na naman ang kanilang tirada. Si Pastor Apollo Quiboloy naman umano ay kanilang titirahin dito sa Senado. So ngayon mga kababayan po natin, titingnan po natin kung ano nga ba ang mangyayari sa kasong ito, samantala si Atty. Topacio ay hindi pabor sa mangyaring pagdinig sa Senado.
One that you wave around just to justify any investigation. You know, the expanded Anti-Human Trafficking Act was just passed last year, 2022, which is an amendment of the Human Trafficking Act of 2003. What has happened since then to justify another inquiry? This is plain and unadulterated ballooning as part of the feeding frenzy against Pastor Quiboloy, the SMNI, and the Kingdom of Jesus Christ, as demonstrated by the imprisonment or the citing and contempt of Yusek Lorraine Badoy and Eric Celis, and the threat on the legitimate franchise of SMNI and other acts of harassment. You can see the pattern. So only a blind person, one has to be really naive to see and not to see what is going on here.
What is going on here? Is there or are there, Attorney Topacio, are there abuses happening in Pastor Quiboloy's church?
That is for the courts to determine, not for the Senate, and definitely not for a senator who has an agenda to promote. If she is really sincere in curbing abuses, why has she not filed one bill, made one privilege speech against the enablers of those recruiting minors and women and girls from schools to be abused and left and made warriors by the NPA? Why is she selective in her concern?
No, Attorney Topacio, I think you missed my question there. I was asking you as the
So iwas itong host ng ANC mga kababayan po natin sa mga naging paliwanag ni Atty. Topacio na bakit hindi umano imbestigahan itong nangyayaring pagre-recruit ng mga kabataan sa eskwelahan at ginagawang sundalo nitong mga makakaliwang grupo. So may punto si Atty. Topacio, ngunit iniwasan nga ng host ng ANC. Alam naman po natin na ayaw nila pag-usapan yung mga issue patungkol sa mga makakaliwa mga kababayan po natin.
legal counsel of Quiboloy. Are there abuses happening in his church?
There are allegations, there are defenses, but you also did not get the point of my answer. The proper forum for that is not the Senate, it's not the House, it is for the courts. Now, if you use in aid of legislation as an excuse, that is a lame excuse. And that is subject to abuse, that's already stated by the Supreme Court in Mary, in Benson, and very recently, just that month, in Ong versus Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, that this is an excuse that is prone to abuse. But, you know, some people like Ms. Hontiveros, they never learn. They always use the Senate as their own bully pulpit to advance their agenda. Very saddening, very saddening.
Attorney Topacio, how many members does the church have as we speak?
I'm not part of the church administration. I would reckon somewhere in the millions.
And
And this is a very well organized religion. It has been proven in certain proceedings in the United States that this is not a cult. This is not like she's comparing it to that other cult that she supposedly had a hand in having the leader arrested. This is very far from that. This is a very well organized religion in several territories with doctrines, with a church hierarchy. It has schools, it has charity programs, the Children's Joy Foundation. This is a religion. This is a bona fide religion.
Attorney Topacio, how many have left the church?
I really don't know. You know, in churches, they come, they go. That is true not only in this church, but in the Catholic Church. In fact, in Europe, the Catholic Church is practically abandoned. Are we going to take that against the Roman Catholic Church?
So you don't deny that there are some members who have left.
They have left. Now, there are some who have come in. That is normal in any religion. So I do not see the relevance of that question.
No, the relevance of that is we do want to know the reasons for leaving. And if the
There are
reasons
many reasons
were
for leaving. You ask them, these people, the ones that were shown that were shown in this video at the start of this interview, they are the same ones who are now in the United States, and they have a complaint. So are we saying now that the Senate is an adjunct of the United States justice system, that we have to investigate anything that they investigate? And at the Senate, not even in the courts. You know, if Rito Hontiveros believes her witnesses, then she has all the power to assist them in filing a case in court. Why is she having an investigation in the Senate? Because that is her territory. She cannot be called to account in any other part. The witnesses there, the counsels cannot speak. They can browbeat and bully and bamboozle the witnesses all they want. That is the aim of Ms. Risa Hontiveros. Very plain. One of the high-ranking members of the church was one of the original pastorals, female. She's a female. She's now middle-aged. If, as they claim, the pastorals are being mistreated there, why would the same member allow her 16-year-old daughter to become a pastoral? Just that story, and I can substantiate that. I just do not have the permission to reveal the names of these persons, but that can be substantiated. That alone speaks volumes on how well women are treated in the church. Actually, the Senate is a totally different thing. It is a body that adhere to strict technical rules of evidence. That is in the rules. It is a body where your counsel cannot speak. That is in their rules. It is a body where, on the whim or caprice of any senator, just like what happened to Gordon, you can be held in contempt and imprisoned. It is not a body conducive to arriving at the truth. It is a body that if a senator or a group of senators want to browbeat, humiliate, degrade, or destroy your reputation, they can very easily do so. And that is the game plan of Risa Hontiveros. Eh, taka ka na lang pagka hindi mo nakita yan.
Wow. I'm not going to.
So yun nga mga kababayan po natin, tanga ka na lang umano kapag hindi mo nakita itong strategiya nga ni Senator Risa Hontiveros at hindi naman natanggap ng host ng ANC itong sinabi nga ni Atty.Topacio at sinabing hindi niya dapat banggitin ito sa kanyang programa. Kayo po mga kababayan po natin, ano po ang inyong husga sa mga action ngayon na ginawa ni Senator Risa Hontiveros na obviously nakita natin yung pattern bilang isang ordinaryong Pilipino na mukhang hindi sila nagtatrabaho base doon sa dapat mapakinabangan ng taong bayan. Kundi ngayon mga kababayan po natin, itong Senator Risa Hontiveros ay nagtatrabaho para sa kapakanan niya, sa kapakanan ng kanyang kaalyado na alam po natin na ginagamit lang nila ang isyo para sa kanilang political career. Kasi gusto nilang bumango mga kababayan po natin. Titingnan nyo, ang ginawa nilang umano'y Christmas envoy, mga kababayan po natin, na mamimigay sana ng ayuda doon sa mga kababayan natin sa West Philippine Sea na alam naman nilang delikado. Tingnan mo, pinilit nila. Ano nangyari? Palpak, hindi natuloy dahil hinaraw sila ng Chinese Coast Guard at mayroon pang Navy ship o mano ng China mga kababayan po natin. Na alam naman nila na mainit ang isyu ngayon sa West Philippine Sea kahit may kasama pa silang Coast Guard po natin dahil sadyang hinaharangan at sobrang napakalakas ng China. So, pinipilit nila kasi o mano'y talagang magtatagumpay sila. Asa na yung atin ito? So, wala rin. Muhalpak din mga kababayan po natin. So yan ang problema kay Senator Risa Hontiveros para sa aking personal na opinion mga kababayan po natin. Dahil mas ginugusto niya na gawin ang kanyang trabaho base sa kanyang personal na pakinabang, hindi sa pakinabang ng buong Pilipino. Kaya ano po ang inyong komento, opinion para sa isyong ito? Huwag kalimutan mag-iwan sa ating comment section. Maraming salamat po at yan po yung ating update. Hanggang sa muli.